people think becoming wealthy starts when you get a six-figure salary, or when you finally start investing, or when you hit your first $100,000. But honestly, for most people, wealth is decided way earlier than that. Usually in moments so small, you barely notice them. Like standing in line at Target adding random stuff to your cart, ordering food because you're too tired to cook, buying something online because it's only $12. And look, none of those things seem life-changing. That's the whole point, because millionaires are not usually built by one giant decision. They're built by thousands of tiny ones. And today I want to talk about one tiny rule that quietly separates people who build wealth from people who stay broke forever. It's called the $1 rule. And here's the scary part. Most people break this rule every single day without realizing it. My name is Peter, and I spend way too much time thinking about how everyday financial habits quietly shape people's futures. If you're someone who feels like you make money but somehow never keep it, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because once you understand this rule, you start seeing money completely differently. And honestly, it changes everything. Section 1. The problem nobody talks about. Here's the thing. Most people don't actually have an income problem. They have a leakage problem. Money leaks out constantly, and it happens in ways that feel harmless. A coffee here, a subscription there, an upgrade you didn't need, a sale you saved money on. The average American spends hundreds of dollars every month on things they barely even remember buying. Studies on consumer spending behavior consistently show that small impulse purchases are one of the biggest destroyers of long-term savings. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but it's just a few dollars. Right. That's exactly what makes it dangerous, because the brain doesn't emotionally react to small losses. If somebody stole $5,000 from your bank account, you'd panic. But if you slowly waste $15 a day for 10 years, your brain barely notices. Even though mathematically, that's over $54,000. That's the trap. And here's what most people don't realize. Wealth is less about big earning moments and more about repeated behavioral patterns. The person making $70,000 with discipline often becomes wealthier than the person making $150,000 with chaos. And we see this all the time. There are professional athletes who go broke, lottery winners who lose everything, doctors drowning in debt because income alone does not create wealth. Behavior does. Section 2, what the $1 rule actually is. So what exactly is the $1 rule? It's simple. Before buying anything, ask yourself, would I still buy this if it costs slightly more? That's it. Sounds almost stupidly simple, but psychologically, it's incredibly powerful because the $1 rule forces you to interrupt emotional spending. Look, companies are unbelievably good at making you spend automatically. Prices end in 0.99 for a reason. Restaurants remove dollar signs for a reason. Apps store your payment information for a reason. Everything is designed to make spending feel frictionless. The less you think, the more you spend. The $1 rule adds friction back into the process. For example, you see a hoodie online for $39.99. Ask yourself, would I still buy this for $40.99? If the answer is no, you probably didn't actually value it that much to begin with. Now, obviously, this isn't literally about $1. The dollar is symbolic. It represents intentionality. Millionaires think differently about money because they understand every dollar has a future value attached to it. And this is where it gets really interesting, because a single dollar is not worth $1, not over time. Section 3. The math that changes everything. Let's do some math. And look, I know some people hate math, but this part matters. Imagine you waste just $20 a day. That doesn't sound extreme, right? That's food delivery fees, random Amazon purchases, impulse snacks, unused subscriptions. Now let's invest that $20 instead. $20 a day equals roughly $600 a month. If you invested $600 a month into a basic index fund, averaging around 10% annually, after 10 years, you'd have about $124,000. After 20 years, around $430,000. After 30 years, over $1.2 million. That's insane. Think about that. Tiny daily decisions quietly turning into seven figures. This is why wealthy people become obsessed with efficiency. Not because they're cheap, because they understand opportunity cost. Every dollar spent today is a dollar that cannot compound tomorrow. And compounding is basically financial gravity. The longer it works, the stronger it becomes. Albert Einstein supposedly called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. Whether he actually said it or not, the principle is still true. Compounding rewards patience more than intelligence. That's important, because people think investing success comes from picking perfect stocks. Usually, it comes from consistency. Boring consistency. Section 4. The psychology of why people fail. Now here's where people get stuck. Most financial problems are emotional, not mathematical. People know they should save money. They know they shouldn't carry high-interest debt. They know investing matters. But knowledge alone doesn't change behavior. Emotion does. And modern life constantly pressures people into financial self-destruction. Social media makes everybody feel behind. You see people driving luxury cars, taking vacations, buying expensive watches, living in high-rise apartments. But what most people don't realize is a lot of that lifestyle is financed by debt. America has trillions in consumer debt. Credit card balances alone continue reaching record highs. People are trying to look wealthy instead of become wealthy. Huge difference. One is performance, the other is reality. And honestly, this is one of the biggest mindset shifts you need to make. Stop buying things to impress people who are not paying your bills. Because real wealth is usually quiet. It's investments, assets, cash flow, ownership, freedom, not constant consumption. Look, financial success usually looks unimpressive in real time. That's what people don't understand. Nobody claps for investing consistently. Nobody gets excited about automatic contributions to index funds. Nobody posts screenshots of not buying things. But those boring habits quietly create extraordinary outcomes. Section 7. The 3 levels of the $1 rule. So how do you actually apply this? Here are the 3 levels. Level 1. Pause before spending. This alone changes everything. Before buying anything unnecessary, pause for 24 hours. Most impulse purchases disappear with time. Emotion fades. Logic returns. Level 2. Calculate future value. Instead of asking, "What does this cost today?" ask, "What could this become invested?" That $100 impulse purchase, at 10% annual growth over 30 years, that's potentially over $1,700. Suddenly, purchases feel different. Level 3. Build identity.
This is the highest level. Wealthy people don't constantly rely on motivation. They build identity. They become the type of person who manages money well. That's huge psychologically, because behavior follows identity. If you see yourself as financially disciplined, your actions begin aligning naturally. Section 8. Now, this doesn't mean never enjoy life. Now, before somebody comments, "So we're supposed to never buy coffee again?" No, that's not the point.
The goal is not deprivation. The goal is intentionality. Spend aggressively on what truly matters to you. Cut ruthlessly on what doesn't. That's the balance. Because financial freedom is not about being miserable. It's about gaining control. The ability to choose your life, to leave toxic jobs, to handle emergencies, to take opportunities, to help your family, to buy time back. That's what money really does. It buys options. Section 9. The biggest surprising insight. And honestly, here's the biggest insight most people miss. The $1 rule is not actually about money. It's about attention. Where attention goes, money follows. People who pay attention to small financial behaviors eventually master larger ones. You don't suddenly become disciplined after becoming rich. Usually you become rich because you were disciplined first. That's why saving your first $1,000 feels so hard. You're not just building savings, you're building a new identity. And once that identity forms, everything accelerates. Investing becomes easier. Spending becomes smarter. Financial stress decreases. Confidence grows. This is why the first stages matter so much. Conclusion. Look, nobody accidentally becomes financially free. It happens through repeated decisions nobody sees. Tiny moments, tiny habits, tiny choices. The $1 rule seems small, but small rules repeated thousands of times create massive outcomes. That's how millionaires are quietly built. Not overnight, not through luck, not through flashy investments, through consistency, through awareness, through discipline. And honestly, the best time to start was probably years ago. But the second best time is today. So here's what I want you to do after this video. For the next 7 days, apply the $1 rule to every unnecessary purchase. Just 7 days. Watch how differently you think about money. Watch how often emotion tries to control your decisions. And most importantly, watch how much power comes from awareness. Because financial freedom starts the moment you stop spending unconsciously. If this video helped you out, make sure to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and comment below. What's one small financial habit that changed your life? I read every comment, and I'll see you in the next video.